It's afternoon, I think. A very good afternoon to all of you. My topic of this seminar is current status of wooden handicraft industry of India with special reference to Western UP state. Let me first introduce my co-workers. That is Dr. Sangeeta Gupta, scientist, Forest Research Institute, Deepak Tapkir, and Jayesh Gaikwad. I would like to begin my seminar with this phrase: if every piece of art has a story to tell, imagine what clues you will find in these ornate and beautiful mirrors. Each one handcraft items by skilled artisan in northern India. No two are alike, resulting in a truly unique piece for your home. This phrase was used by a industry of my studied area, that is famous art group. My contents will be history of handicraft industry of India, present scenario, handicraft products, Saharanpur handicraft industry, problem associated with the industry, and some recommendations. History of handicraft industry in India. If we see the history of handicraft industry in India, we have to go back around 3000 to 1700 BC. That is the Mohenjo-daro Indus Valley civilizations. The first reference of handicraft industry in Indian subcontinent can be the Mohenjo-daro Indus Valley civilization, which is around 3000 to 1700 BC old. The people of Indus Valley civilization were found to be used some handicraft or handicraft items like pottery, sculpture, jewelry, and weaving. This art has withstood the ravages of time and many foreign invasions, and still it is growing, and it becomes an integral part of Indian national heritage. Now, my studied area, that is the Saharanpur handicraft industry at a glance. History. Sir Ranbir Singh, he was the first governor of Saharanpur, governor of Uttar Pradesh. He developed the city of Saharanpur. He brought some artisans from Kashmir Valley and he developed the industry, that is handicraft industry in Saharanpur. That's why the product of Saharanpur handicraft industry bear a touch of Kashmiri product. During its peak season, that is around 10 to 15 years ago, handicraft industry was giving livelihood to around more than 50,000 people in Saharanpur. Now there are around 6,000 shops with an average of 4.14 artisans per unit. This is the present scenario of handicraft export in India. As you can see, from 2007 there is a gradual decrease in the export of handicraft from India. This handicraft not only includes the handicraft of not only includes the wooden handicraft, but also other handicraft products also. But still, the export from India, the handicraft export from India is gradually decreasing. The problem associated with this export, I'll talk on later on. This reference was taken from EPCH, Export Promotion Council of Handicraft. Handicraft products. So before going to handicraft products, I'd like to define handicraft. The name itself is bearing the meaning handy and craft. Handy is hand and craft. Craft is anything which is made with some skill in it. So handicraft, a proper definition will be anything, any work that produces any decorative or useful items completely with hand or some simple hand tools is called handicraft. Usually the term is applied to the traditional means of making goods. It is the traditional main sector of craft. The individual artisanships remains the paramount criteria for handicraft items. Generally, the product bears more cultural, traditional, and religious significance than any other aspects. Items made in mass production or with some advanced technologies are not included in handicraft. The skill required for these handicrafts are learned or acquired outside the formal education systems, unregulated, and passed generation to generation. the direct manual contributions remain the paramount or remains the substantial component of this craft. So handicraft is completely a art which is made with only with the hand or by some simple hand tools. There are divisions of handicraft products, mainly core craft, languishing craft, and lesser known products. In core craft, we have hand knotted carpets, art metalwares, woodwares, hand printed textile, embroidered goods, zari goods, imitation jewelries. In languishing craft, we had wood carving, and in lesser known products, we have wooden toys and other decorative items. Among these, there's languishing craft. Why it is known as languishing craft? Because earlier, this wooden carving was extensively produced or extensively practiced. But nowadays, this wooden carving is practiced in, like, there is a decrease in this practice. So it comes under this languishing craft. Generally, my studied area, that is Saharanpur, it is producing languishing craft and lesser known products, that is wooden carvings, wooden toys and decorative items. So I'd like to show you one video of the Saharanpur market. You can see the beauty of this market. Here I can show you something. You can see there are small shops that is covered all around the market. So from this view, you can find out the market is totally unorganized. Here you can find the beautiful inlaying that is done on this elephant or that cow statues. So I think you got an idea about the market, the Saharanpur market. Now let me talk about the industry in Saharanpur. First, the raw material. From where the raw material is coming, how they are getting the raw material, the methods of purchase, and the cost of raw material. Raw material use. Saharanpur industry mainly using Mangifera indica and sisam, that is Dalbergia sisal. Now they are using particle boards also, MDF and plywood. This particle board and plywood they are importing from India only, but MDF they have to import from other countries. For inlaying they are using brass, copper or plastic. Earlier they were using ivory, but if there is a ban in using ivory now. So they are shifting their inlaying material to brass, copper and plastics. They are using some other finishing material to give a good look on the product. These are the source of raw material. There are mainly two sources of raw material: natural plantation, avenue and roadside plantation. These are the flow chart how the industry is getting the raw material. From natural forest, the forest corporation is to collect the raw material, and forest corporation generally they are collected by the local vendors or middlemen, and from middlemen and the local vendors the industry is getting their raw material. Likewise, from avenue and roadside plantation, the plantation owner used to cut down the trees and they used to sell to the local vendors or middlemen, and ultimately it comes to the handicraft industry. There is like a similar flow chart how this industry is getting their raw material. Methods of purchase. There is generally only one way of purchase, that is the auction. Every now and then they used to organize some auction. There are around 80 nigams or forest corporation around Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand. Main depots are in Bijnor and Muradabad, and they used to organize some auction from which this industry is getting their raw material. Cost of raw material. The Menzifera indica, the cost is around 300 to 700 per CFT. Alberghe sisho they are getting with 1000 to 1500 CFT. Here you can see the increase in price because of the involvement of local vendors and middlemen. There is around 10 to 20% increase in the price because of the involvement of these local vendors and middlemen. The industry is not getting their raw material directly from the forest corporations. The middlemen used to buy and they used to sell to the industry with an increased price of 10 to 20%. So there is an ever increasing cost of raw material. And in last 2 years, there are around 10 to 40% increase in the raw material price. Here, the involvement of middlemen, there is some positive aspects also, and some negative aspects. You can see the increase in price only is the negative aspects, but there are some positive aspects of this middleman also. This middleman, what they used to do is they used to buy the large size logs from the forest corporations, and they used to size them. They used to cut them in particular sizes so that they can sell to some small scale industries, because there are some industries which produce some peculiar items only, and for that they need some specific size or specific dimension timber. They cannot afford to buy large logs from the forest corporations. So this middleman, they are helping those small scale industries in getting some particular dimension timber. Now comes to the problem faced by the handicraft industry, as told by the chairman of Wood Carving Association of Saharanpur. Here I can show you one video first so that you have an idea about the problems. He is Mr. Faizan Ahmed, chairman of Saharanpur Wood Carver Association and a member of EPCH. We had a talk with him about the problems associated with the industry, so you can hear about the problems. Okay, I think sound is not coming, so I'll just skip it because I have already included all the problems. The problems by the handicraft industry. Raw material. Raw material is the main source or raw material. The price of raw material is affects the cost of production. Therefore, the problem associated with the raw material is very important. There are problems associated with procuring the raw material, problem associated with the processing of raw material, and problems related to export. In procuring, we have limited source of raw material, higher price, chain of middlemen. In problems of processing of raw material, we have irregular electricity out there, unavailability of labor, either skilled or unskilled, age-old tools. Problems related to export is uncertified material, need for chemical treatments like fumigation. These are the problems. Previously, they are using sisam, and the source is forest plantation. And when there is a scarcity of raw material of sisam, they have shifted to mango. Now they have again problem with the mango because they are not getting mango further, because of some problem like shifting of the mango plantation to some hybrid plantation, and shifting of mango is substituted by eucalyptus and other plants from roadside plantation. So mango is not available So what is next? Forest certification, another problem. The available raw materials are not certified, and because of that problem they cannot export their material, because nowadays many countries are expecting that the product should be made from some certified material, raw material. So they are not exporting. Like some countries, they refuse to take the consignment because the raw material is not certified. Problems of certification is lack of knowledge about the source of origin of raw material, lack of assessment of technology regarding judging impact of tree harvesting on plantation or neighboring ecology. What is the effect of this certification is that there is a decrease in export. Okay, seasoning and treatment is also another problem. Saharanpur faces problems of limited availability of seasoning unit, chemical treatment plants, raw material facility center. Available treatment facilities are fragmented and are far from manufacturing units. A few manufacturers has the knowledge that their products should be fumigated. There is a problem of basic infrastructure also. The electricity, there is a irregular electricity. Only 8 to 12 hours of electricity is available, which increase the ideal time for production of the material. Can take big consignments. The problems of road facilities, that is the major export center at Delhi is 180 kilometers. Journey of Delhi takes around 6 to 7 hours. Difficulties for importers to reach Saharanpur. The marketing constraint is also there. There are some marketing constraint. They have the technology lag and the labor problem. I just take one more minute, sir. The labor problem is unavailability of skilled laborers, migration of laborers to high labor wage places like metropolitan cities. Old workers are no more interested in doing this business because of lack of profit. Next generation are unwilling to join this family business. And shifting of handicraft laborers to other work like auto drivers, vegetable vendors, etc. These are recommendations, what we thought to be given. Grant of forest certification for raw material. You can just see it. Need for formulation of implementation of BIS standard for each handicraft products. Substitute of mango and sesame wood. Education and training for artisans and etc. So at last, I just want to show this picture. The practitioners of this craft are not just workers, they are extremely creative artisans. These artisans need to be bestowed the dignity that is due to them. Thank you.
Thank you very much.